For today's lesson, you'll need to take notes on the environmental movement, complete a graphic organizer using Kahn Academy, identify environmental benefits and burdens in Lake County, and share all of the above in Flipgrid. EPSL class of 2020, hope you guys are well. We are starting a new unit this week. It is the unit on the environmental movement. The objective for this unit is to assess the impact of human activity on current and future generations. Whenever we start this unit, I always like to start with a quote from a gentleman named George Perkins Marsh. He's considered one of the fathers of the conservation movement in the United States. And Marsh said, "Wherever man plants his foot, the harmonies of nature are turned to discord." He said that in a book that was titled Man versus Nature, published in the 19th century. And the thesis of this book was this idea, that civilizations decline when they adversely affect their environment. Turns out Cleveland is the perfect place to put this thesis to the test. At one point, Cleveland was the Silicon Valley of the industrial age, heralded for its oil refineries, its steel factories, its chemical plants. People were moving here, flocking to the city because all of the jobs that were created by those industries. And somehow, though, Cleveland goes from being the forest city to the mistake by the lake, which kind of begs the question, how did that happen? Turns out in the 19th century, city leaders embarked on a very ambitious tree planting plan. They required shade trees to be planted on all village streets. So much so that by 1940, when the city conducted a tree census, they found that there's 320,000 trees in Cleveland. Unfortunately, industrialization happens. The population of the city swells to 1 million. Economically, things are good, but it turns out that, like Perkins Marsh said, man might have been adversely affecting the environment. And because the population grew and industry grew, we found that the tree population was declining. By 2015, there was 120,000 trees in the city of Cleveland, and now we're finding that we're losing 97 acres of forest per year. You might be asking yourself, so what if we lost a few trees? Over the last 4 years, I've been working at the Holden Arboretum. From my office on top of the Emergent Tower, I have breathtaking views of the tree canopy covering much of Lake and Geauga County. And I've learned that trees provide us with many benefits. You probably knew that trees remove pollution from the air and provide habitat for wildlife. But did you know that trees improve public health, increase property values, slow traffic speeds, lower stress, block noise, and revitalize business districts? Don't take my word for it. Look at this map showing tree canopy coverage in Cuyahoga County. The lighter areas show neighborhoods with less than 20% tree canopy coverage, while the dark greens have up to 80% tree canopy coverage. Now look at this map showing life expectancy in Cuyahoga County. The neighborhoods that had the fewest trees also have the lowest life expectancy. The maroon represents a life expectancy of 65 years, while the pink areas have life expectancies of 80 years or more. Also notice that the highest poverty rates in Northeast Ohio exist in the area with the lowest percentage of tree canopy. It's no coincidence that some of the wealthiest communities in Northeast Ohio, like Chagrin Falls, Gates Mills, and Pepper Pike, have a strong tree canopy. Meanwhile, people living in lower canopy neighborhoods like Euclid, Cleveland, and Warrensville Heights are unable to reap the benefits that trees provide. Now it's time for your assignment. The first thing I would like you to do is to complete this graphic organizer using the link provided to the Kahn Academy lesson on environmental justice. Essentially, what you're going to be doing is labeling environmental benefits and burdens and providing examples of each of those things, as well as filling in some of the blanks that you see on either side. At the conclusion of that video, you're also going to be writing down the definition of environmental justice. Critical for this unit because it is the basis of every single activity we're going to do for the next week. Second thing I would like you to do is to visit the Environmental Protection Agency Environmental Justice Screening Tool. It's a mouthful, but it's got some very detailed information about where the environmental benefits and burdens are located where you live. And that's important information to know because it has implications for your health. All students in PSL should do the following. Using that tool, find 5 environmental benefits and 5 environmental burdens in Lake County. And I want you to be as specific as possible. When you're talking about benefits, give me the specific names of some of the parks and green spaces that you see on that map. When you're talking about burdens, give me some of the specific names of the hazardous waste sites and or chemical factories that you find on that map. After you locate them, I'd like you to identify the community with the most benefits. So which community has the highest concentration of benefits? And then on the flip side, if you would also identify the community with the highest concentration of burdens. And because of that, also the community that most likely has the highest concentration of health problems. Honors PSL, as always, we're going to give you a little additional challenge. We'd like you to identify the community with the most hazardous waste and the community with the lowest cancer rate. There'll be specific instructions on the webpage that kind of walks you through step by step how to do this. It will take a little bit of time and a little bit of effort on your part, but you're going to walk away much more knowledgeable about your community. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Good luck. Now for everyone's favorite part, it's time to share your findings on Flipgrid. It's really not that bad. Your Flipgrid should include a shot of the notes you took on the environmental movement, talk me through the graphic organizer you completed using Kahn Academy, and lastly, explain your findings from the EPA's Environmental Justice Screening Tool about the benefits and burdens located in Lake County. Good luck.